What we're trying to do on the High Lonesome Ranch is look at some of the traditional American ideas for conservation, revisit the ideas that Teddy Roosevelt had and Aldo Leopold had back around the turn of the last century, and see how they can apply to restoring this quintessential Western landscape. In the 1940s, Aldo Leopold wrote a seminal essay titled Thinking Like a Mountain about the epiphany he had when he shot a mother wolf. Now, in those days, the common wisdom was that fewer wolves meant a healthier mountain, meaning that the herds of deer and elk would be in better shape and that there would be more animals for humans to hunt. But what Aldo Leopold learned was that that is not necessarily the case, because fewer wolves means that there are a lot more deer and elk, and that they overeat things like aspen and shrubs and grasses, and they create a home for themselves that is barren, that doesn't have enough food and doesn't have the habitat for the species that would normally be living in all of those shrubs and trees that are now missing. And so Aldo Leopold came to these realizations back in the early 1940s, and he wrote about them in his book, A Sand County Almanac. A Sand County Almanac has provided a guide for us here on the ranch as we are studying the effects of what appears to be a recolonizing wolf population. So wolves are returning to this landscape and other Western landscapes. They're coming from places like Yellowstone because wolves are great travelers. They are traveling, and in 2009, a radio-collared Yellowstone wolf turned up on the ranch's doorstep, and others are following. And so here we're measuring these relationships. What is the effect of this wolf population that is very slowly developing on the rest of this ecosystem? So how is it affecting elk and deer? How is it affecting what they're eating? Are elk and deer a lot more wary now? Is their behavior changing? Are those behavioral changes cascading through the whole food web in what we call trophic cascades? Those are the scientific ideas that Aldo Leopold came up with almost a century ago that we are testing on the High Lonesome Ranch, and we're looking at how those ideas can help us coexist with carnivores in a ranching environment, in a hunting environment, how we can think like that mountain and consider all of these relationships in being good stewards of this land.